that was kind of the point. Yeah.
So you killed the mouse.
So Varys is not surprised by that at all because he totally understands that Tanika, these are her friends, but they're really just her playthings. You know what I mean? At the same time, so that Varys isn't surprised by that. He's gets what we are to a degree. So he's not like no reaction to that whatsoever. Still with his hand on her shoulder, he says, "Callie, Lionel used to always say, you have a decision. Just be ready to accept the consequences. You always have a decision. Just be ready to accept the consequences." And do I have to roll for that, Mike? Do you want me to roll like what, expression or something?
Well, if you want to, if you want to role play this out with Caligari doing her own thing, that's fine. If you want to roll, then it's going to be 2 contested rolls. That's kind of up to the both of you. Would you like to role play this, or would you like to actually just make a contested roll? I guess it's kind of up to Nika if she wants to just role play it out or not.
I want to contest the roll, and then we can role play that.
Tell me what we're rolling.
Absolutely. So, if you're just trying to, just coerce her, I guess, that's going to be your, I would say either your presence or your composure. I'd say your presence. I don't think your composure has anything to do with it.
Not manipulation?
No, I don't think you're trying to manipulate her. You're trying to appeal to her. So it's more your presence plus persuasion is what you're looking to do.
Persuasion is...
Under social.
Oh, it's actually a persuasion, not expression. Okay, cool.
And then the contested role would be for me, for Callie, I guess your resolve plus, what would be resolve plus what would be a good question? Empathy, maybe? Does that make sense? Empathy is the right word I'm looking for? Like a resolve plus empathy roll? No?
Yeah, he's trying to like
appeal to her senses more or less.
Yeah,
right?
you can. Oh no, I'm gonna absolutely fail this, aren't I?
You might. It's possible. Resolve plus composure. That's correct. Your resolve plus composure.
Okay,
Thank you,
composure
chat.
instead.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll take that
just
away.
So you know, I am going to spend a willpower. I don't know if you intend to.
I don't know what a willpower is.
You have a limited number of them. There's a limited way to get them back. When you spend, you get +3 to your roll.
Jesus Christ!
Plus 3 dice. +3 dice.
Yeah, but willpower is super rare and super powerful.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm not going to use that. I'm just gonna go for it.
Okay.
Oh God.
All right.
Yeah, none. All right.
All right, there you go. Scott rolled 3, you rolled 0. So according to the dice, Scott succeeds in talking you down.
Oof, maybe
or he at least pauses me. Like I'm still standing there, and I'm not making a move.
Correct.
You have not swayed me in any way, shape, or form. But I am not doing what that is. It's all up to you.
So I say, Callie, this is a fucked up situation. I know you don't have a phone. Does Zigzag?
I don't think so. Would Zigzag have a phone?
I slowly take out my I slowly take out my phone and I'm like,
he's super anarchist, so I'm guessing no.
Even if he did, you might not even know the number.
Yeah, I wouldn't know it, and so I just shake my head.
So what is it? I slowly take out my phone.
It's not. She's again just completely blank faced. You don't see any intimidation. You don't see any aggression. You don't see anything. She is just staring dead. Just no.
Can you give me a few moments? Jimmy, you got your phone on you?
Yeah.
Call your sire. See if he's all right.
Like Jimmy's working through this, you can tell he hadn't even considered that could have happened. And then he steps outside with his phone.
Okay.
Just, Callie, let's just check everyone else. Okay?
She doesn't respond. She's making no movement whatsoever. out of character, you should probably get the body away from her.
I'm not going to do anything aggressive. I'm literally, my hand is still on her shoulder in a non-gripping way, just like a friendly kind of way.
Because she's
Not
doing the
that.
same thing. Like everyone's just like frozen in place.
Exactly. Yep.
Like just whatever.
I'm literally using words on her. I won't do anything physical beyond just the hand on the shoulder.
Okay. Jimmy goes out, makes a phone call to what's his face. Rings.
What's his face?
to no answer.
Moonbow? Is
Not
that
the Moonbow. Doesn't mean anything. The dude is very random as to when he answers his phone.
Yeah, right.
The dude has been busy.
Had to be that guy.
I mean, like he's very much like Jimmy in a lot of ways, where he's not reliable in any way, shape, or form, and 70% of the time, he doesn't answer his phone.
All right, I'm gonna text him like 5 poop emojis, and then I'm gonna put my phone away.
Okay. And you go back inside.
And then I'm gonna go back inside and be like, he's not there. And I'm like, I'm a little like, I'm standing almost between Caligari and Varys. And
then Emmy, I guess, is with the body.
Jimmy's
near,
like, I
near
think
Caligari, yeah.
that
Yeah,
the two of
on the other
you
side.
should take
This is a
your
cool scene.
hands off the corpse.
Let's put Lionel back in the box.
She does it.
None of us are going anywhere. I say backing off as she's doing that.
And
She
Emmy's
puts him
like
back.
next to the box and like kind of really close and watching Caligari like very closely and like wiping away tears.
Okay.
Callie picks up the mouse and puts him back in. Just back in the tits. The
Gross,
the tail
bloody.
is coming out. So yeah, it's like a little bit like normally it would be kind of stashed in there in a different way, but this one's just kind of like haphazardly. It's just chilling.
We have to make a decision together. Right now, whatever decision we make is going to be done so ignorantly.
Agreed.
But we have to make a decision together. We can either figure this out right here and right now, or we can try to get a hold of one of your, Zigzag or Moonbow. And it's like it's tough for Varys to say these names, but in the moment, for Zigzag or Moonbow, we gotta try to get a hold of one of them. I think we should at least try to get a hold. Because why? Maybe he did this because he turned 2 of us. And I say gesturing to Callie. Emmy. To Emmy. Sorry. Maybe this is happening to all of them. We don't. I'm flying blind here, guys.
Your phone vibrates, Jimmy.
Okay, I'm gonna check my phone.
Text message from Moonbow. Says one word. Busy.
Okay, I'm gonna text him back anyway and be like, why is Lionel all cut up and shit?
Nice.
I mean, you take a picture of it, but you can't take a picture of him, so
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Send a
text him
picture
back
over-
and hope he responds. But you got a
Yeah.
message back at least, and it did say busy. So
It did say busy.
What did he say? Was that
He's
him?
busy.
Fuck. Because we don't even know if that's him, right? Anybody can have his phone.
No, it's him.
Did he say busy in a unique way?
I like hold it up and I'm like, he did not capitalize the B.
That's legit. You have to intentionally uncapitalize the B, right? Like, okay.
he puts
It's like,
effort into looking nonchalant.
Varys gets code. So he's like, I'll nod to that and say, fuck, so it's probably just Lionel. And then I look to Emmy and I'm like, this might be my fault. I need a minute. And like, I'm just going to kind of like stand there for a few seconds and then turn and slowly walk out the door and just kind of like stand outside of the mausoleum. Just like off into off.
I know that if you drink the blood of like an uber vampire, that it will give you powers?
You probably do not know that because Lionel would not have taught that to you. He would have told you.
But I
Do you have
no.
What do you have?
Do I have what? I have politics and a cult.
You have a
I have
cult?
3 and a cult.
Then you might know. Probably because, all right, so with the 3 and a cult, then yeah, you probably do know. At some point, you probably asked Lionel, like, Lionel probably dictated to you, like, hey, don't drink the blood of other vampires. It's strictly against the rules, and only if sanctioned by the prince is it allowed, blah, blah, blah. And then if you ever ask, like, what does that mean? Like, why? He probably explained why and what it does. So yeah, you probably know. Caligari definitely knows. Jimmy, maybe. Varys, who fucking knows if Varys knows?
Nothing. I know nothing. When I originally created the character, he had like a cult too, and then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Remove those.
I think this is all going to depend on what happens in the next like scene. So, okay.
So Varys goes outside. What do the 3 of you do then inside? Do you just
I
give
mean,
him
he's
his
guarding
time?
the box.
Okay. Do you guys just kind of wait for Varys to come back?
I guess.
I'm messing around with the statues.
Okay.
You know, there's some Judas going on. I'm checking out Judas.
That's the stained glass windows.
Oh, the windows.
Yeah,
Well,
that's where Judas is. And
I'm looking
whatnot.
at all sorts of crazy stuff in here. I didn't get a chance to it before.
Caligari, as you're
So I'm
looking,
like-
very quickly, as you're looking at the windows, it's very clear that, like, obviously you believe that's Judas's, but you can pick out tiny little things that the other 3 never would have noticed. They don't belong. They're not right. They stick to you. They stick out like a sore thumb. Whether it be symbolism or the way they're dressed or the people in the crowds or whatever, little things don't make any historical sense into what the scene is supposed to be portraying. And to you, like, now that you have a minute or two to kind of look it up, you're like, it's like a freaking, like it sticks out like a sore thumb, man. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, these scenes make no sense. Yeah, that's Judas, but his attire does not match the time period in which this supposedly happened and blah, 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 blah. Like, oh, wait, Judas is carrying the cross and he actually has the scar around his neck from when he hung himself. That doesn't make any sense. He would have been dead already. A lot of it just, you need time to study this picture over the course of maybe a few days to really see if there's any symbolism behind it. However, none of it makes any sense to you.
The scar around the neck, does it look like the one on Lionel?
It's a very good question.
Yeah, I was wondering that too, but I'm not over there.
Right. You go look over at the at Lionel, and you kind of keep going back and forth. You look at the stained glass window. You look at the ring around his neck. Now, granted, what's around his neck is words, and it's the Judas is very small, and you're looking. And make me an intelligence plus investigation roll, Caligari. Oh, I gotta go back to the chat. Here we go.
Enigmas or encyclopedic at all?
Go ahead and add +1 for the enigmas.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Successes.
You
think you're not 100% positive, but you think that the marks around Judas's neck is not actually like a scar. It looks like it could be words, or it's like a weird design, again, because the figure is so small and the way stained glass windows are, it's hard to tell. But yeah, that doesn't look necessarily 100% right. So
Who's
it
in the
might
room?
match. You, Amelia, and Jimmy. Varys is outside.
Okay, this time she points at the box and says Judas. And it's not a joke. This one is pretty clear. But she doesn't quite know what that means. So it's Judas.
Are you serious?
She can't put it together because Judas shouldn't be in this order. This is so weird and difficult for me to parse right now. It's very perplexing.
Hearing the name Judas, can Varys kind of like, because that's an important name to him.
You can walk in
Kind
on
of
that.
like snap your senses, start walking in.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, she points
Not
back at
aware
the
of what
box.
happened. Yep.
And then nods at Varys. Like, yeah, there's something not right here. I can't figure out what it would be.
There's some.
And I killed my mouse, so you can't do any recon for me. Sorry, buddy.
What
Can
can
she
I do?
eat him? She drains him.
You do
she
drain
gets
him.
point.
Yep, you get a point.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, I get a point.
What can we do to help you, Callie?
You know, Callie, you would need days of just having the stained glass window in front of you, and you need your entire collection of books in front of you to piece this together. With the resources that you have on you right now, you can't get much more than you have.
She asks him to take a picture of the window.
I
Does he already
took-
have one?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
I took
Yeah.
pictures of the windows, Callie. I'm a part of like 3 large Bible study Twitter groups, maybe.
She says no. She says no, absolutely not. She's just like, she just shakes her head like, the fuck though? No. We're in a mausoleum. Are these stained glass visible from the outside?
Yes, but there's bars on the outside as well, so kind of obscure
Okay.
it, and you're only getting a really clear view on the inside of the mausoleum.
Okay, so people from the outside, you have to be actually inside in order to see the kind of stuff
Yep.
that I am seeing.
Yes.
So nobody
that is
else would have
correct.
picked up on this either. So it's not that he
Correct.
could like Google it or anything like that. What else is in the mausoleum? Is it just one?
It's
dead
just that
person?
one dead person, and where there would be other people along the walls, as I said earlier, they're completely
There's
empty.
completely
there's nothing
empty.
there, and you guys did a search, and there's literally nothing in here outside of the stained glass windows. 2 of them that are together, one that is busted, and his tomb.
Dude's in a suit. I'm gonna check around the neck area.
The of Raphael.
Yeah, of dead guy.
Sure. Doesn't look like there's anything around his neck.
Fuck.
Okay, so Mathas,
Yes.
remind me, didn't Moonbow tell me that this task, specific task we were asked to do, was important to the Ordo Dracul?
Yes.
Okay.
And it makes sense because on the tomb itself, you saw symbolism of the Ordo Dracul before, and Emmy did
Right.
find the Lancia Sanctum thing from before, and you know those two at the very least, while they don't have pleasant views of one
I
another.
didn't share that with him.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Never
I
mind.
didn't, the only person that knows about that is Callie.
Then. Okay, then don't worry about it. Jimmy, yes, all you know is there was
Right.
the symbol on the tomb itself. Emmy, could you make me, while this is all happening, Emmy, could you specifically make me a Wits plus Composure check?
Okay.
With a bonus for having like heightened senses and whatnot. +1.
Okay.
Continue. Don't worry. We'll worry about what her role is in a minute.
Holy shit.
That's
It's-
incredible. That's an incredible role.
What
the? We'll get to that in a second.
You literally got every success.
Yeah. She actually perfected her role.
What the? Can I
I'm
see
very
that
emotional
die?
right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
not composed at all.
All right. We'll
God!
get to that in a second. What happens between Jimmy, Varys, and Callie?
I'm gonna start walking back over to the box, and I'm going to nod and say, "This is the way that it's got to be." She doesn't
I'm
say
still at the
anything,
box.
but she's nodding now, and she goes like, "No, this is no words. Doesn't talk a lot, but this is gonna be it. She's gonna do this."
Does anybody
Callie.
try and stop her?
Yes.
So I'm trying to figure this out because like there's a lot of like, I'm still attached to life
Yeah.
shit going on in my head. So that's why I'm like paused. So I just do that and then go ahead.
So what is that roll for that you made me roll?
Okay, get to that in a minute. I promise.
Okay. Because I think that might change what I will do.
It might, but it hasn't gone off yet. Basically, I'm not at the part
Okay.
where I want that to
I'll
happen.
wait till that moment then.
Lionel's a bomb.
You pick him up. Tick, 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 tick. He had like cartoon style dynamite in his chest.
I walk back over and
With
I
the
look
body?
at Emmy. Yeah,
Okay.
I walk over to the
body.
box.
Got it.
I stare. I'm just gonna stare down Emmy. I am going to.
We're having a
um,
stare off. Yes.
Okay. I am going to nightmare her.
Ooh.
All right, I need
How
the
does that
rules
do?
for
How
nightmare.
does
Let me-
I
I can get the
nightmares?
book. Hang on.
I make her scared of me. Wait, I'm not sure if it works. If you're kindred up to a certain point. This is only like
Feel
a
prepared.
1.
It might be
Dungeon
like my
Master and
command.
fire
My
me later.
command is less because you have like you drink blood, so
Mhm.
it's harder for me to use my command on you. But she would have still tried anyway,
Yeah.
and I failed.
She's
Because
like,
of
this
course.
is because you're the one who is going to not listen to me, no matter what you do or say. Like, you're going to fight back on this, and I have to like get all up in your business, because this is going to happen, and tiny little Pipsqueak is not going to stop me.
I love it.
Sorry,
This is going even better than I expected it to, and I
fuck
love
off,
it.
you asshole! I killed a mouse for you.
Can you see why I've been so excited for you all to open the box? Been waiting for this.
That was literally a mic drop moment. It was intense. Just
drop.
Lionel's in the box. What? And everyone just goes,
All
It was
right.
so good.
So you have
I was just like,
Nightmare.
oh my god, how does Emmy like react to that? Because like she sees him as like a father figure.
How many
Yeah.
pips in Nightmare do you have?
One.
One. Okay, so with 1 pip of Nightmare, it is Monstrous Countenance. Its presence.
So I make a scary face.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything of Nightmare is just making a scary face.
Yeah, it's just very.
That's why I only got the 1 pip. I was like,
So you-
Scarier and scarier faces.
more or less. All right, Nika, I need you to roll me a Presence plus Intimidation plus Nightmare, and Maggie.
presence.
Mm-hmm.
And Maggie, you're gonna roll Composure plus Blood Potency to resist.
All right.
Okay.
Presence
Presence plus Intimidation plus Nightmare.
plus Nightmare. This is not gonna.
Composure plus blood, potency.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you get your blood potency up?
Fuck.
You spend experience on it over time.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't listening.
What does that do for me exactly?
Right at low levels, not that much. It just makes you more resistant to other vampires' stuff. But then later on, it starts letting you like spend more and more vitae in a turn, so you can like use a bunch of powers at once. If that makes sense during a fight.
Okay. When I hit composure and blood potency, it's both of them are red, but I don't see blood potency in my dice roller.
You're gonna have to add just an additional.
Yeah, mine didn't do it either.
Yeah,
It was
hers did
super
the same
weird.
thing.
So I actually add an additional one. Okay.
Yeah, you just have to roll it on your own.
Okay, I rolled a 1.
Shit. We. Okay.
Side.
So I
So I
think
think
that counts
I-
as like a win for
A
Emmy.
failure.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
failure for Nika, which is
Yeah.
success
same
is
as
the subject just feels no ill effects. So you use
Yeah.
this nightmare, you try and scare her off again, baring your teeth and really putting forth as much Nosferatu inside you as you can.
You come over and you make like a scary face, and Emmy's just like, "You don't scare me."
I shrug. And I push her. I push her off.
You're
Yeah.
gonna push me?
Yeah, you're goodbye. You're gonna push. It's not like a mean shove. It's not like a It's just like, all right, this is your time. I'm bigger than you.
I'm gonna
It's
run
time.
back over and
Emmy,
I'd be
before we run back,
yeah.
Okay.
as you get
Okay.
pushed off and you kind of like stumble to your feet, you're facing the door, and as you like get ready to stand up, the Wits plus Composure check is obviously Perception, and you have an incredible roll, and off in the distance, you can see one of the Nosferatu watching everything.
Okay.
That's all. They don't seem to be moving towards you. They don't seem to be doing anything other than watching.
Can I close the door?
Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome to.
Okay. I'm gonna close the door and turn around and be like,
They're watching us.
Callie shrugs again.
You can't
Like-
do this, Callie.
Point to the window.
I don't know. She doesn't understand.
Yeah, she doesn't understand the concept of Judas. That's really interesting. She says, this isn't any of our business, but it is our business.
I don't understand what
now.
you're pointing at because I never looked at the window. So you just
Yeah.
pointed at the window and I didn't.
And you're just like, yeah, it's like this isn't any of our business, but it is our business.
Callie, okay, Callie, if you go through with this, I will not stop you. We were tasked by those that are our superiors to do this, okay? And I had a conversation with Lionel right before we came on this, and if you do this, I won't stop you. Know that. And I'll actually put like my hand on Emmy's shoulder to be like reassuring. But are we just going to be their pawns because we don't know the bigger picture?
What were we before?
we were. I suppose you have a point, but at
They
least,
set us free though.
but we have more than just. We have attachments to our sires, not just because they.
I
sired
hold
us.
up my hand just like, shh, and then I just look at Jimmy. Jimmy's our tiebreaker. What's up?
So not fair. He is ordered cool. Oh, gee.
Yeah, out of game. Yeah, no.
It's it's got to be the right thing to do.
Oh, fuck.
Jimmy like kind of won't look you in the eye while saying that either.
She's like, what's the worst that can happen?
That's so callous.
Question: how do humanity roll?
When you
Again.
do something that basically contradicts whatever your humanity score is, you roll to
Yeah,
see if
but
you
what
lose
is the
one.
roll? What is the roll?
Depends on what your humanity is. So at 5, I think you're rolling 3d10.
I'm 5. Yeah.
I think I'd have to double check.
We're all still rolling 3.
Yeah, you roll 3d10, and all you need is 1 success to not drop a humanity.
And what do? You just do like a normal roll?
You just
and
do
then
roll
you add-
3d10.
I have to do a personal check to see what Emmy would do in this case.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, I'm letting the dice say what's gonna happen. I let it happen. I guess. I am gonna go with.
I'm going to drop to a knee, and I'm actually going to hug Emmy, like not holding her back. It's literally like I'm both trying to give her
Comfort.
support while
Yeah.
trying to get some myself, because literally Emmy's here because of how amazing Lionel was to me. He has incredible significance to my character, so it's just like one of those like it's a reciprocal thing.
You
Self-serving.
you shouldn't watch this.
Don't.
It's not good for you.
Emmy watches. She doesn't stop looking.
In Caligari, then you pick up the body after they all kind of step aside.
By the way, just so you and chat know, I was rolling my humanity to see if I actually was just gonna jump up and eat the guy in the other guy in the bottom.
Oh, well, he's already. Oh, that is really
No,
funny. That would have been so much fun.
That's why I
Shit.
asked if, like, yeah, I know. I was like, man, I just have to roll it because I was like, this can't be a decision
That
I
would
make
have
on my
been.
own.
So, because in Varys's mind, that
I
guy's
would
like
have
already
fucked everything
approved.
up.
You know what I mean? He's already like a fucking like a
Right.
raisin. Does a
Yeah.
raisin really have juice? It
Well,
does.
Hey, well, yeah, because
One-
you're eating his
One. He has
soul.
one
Yeah,
vitae.
Yeah, you're
You
not
suck
just
his soul right
you're sucking
out,
his
yeah.
soul out.
Yep.
So like, yeah, it's not about the juice; it's about the
But-
soul.
But Varys
Because
wouldn't
she
know
has
that.
like
Yeah.
she's emotional and she has like a vengeance. That's why
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
I don't know.
that would have made the
Yeah, that's
that would have
why
been
I rolled.
interesting.
I rolled it because I was like,
Oh, that would have
her-
been really
her
weird.
and I have a 5 humanity,
Could've
so
broke it.
that's something that she would totally do. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay,
all right.
I have a 6.
Callie lifts up the corpse. The it's not lifeless, but more or less lifeless husk. His head again, due to its own weight, listing to one side. Blood and skin falling from the places where the arms and legs would be. And you go and I'm assuming kind of just put it up to the mouth of Raphael Pope.
I'm actually gonna tear out his throat a little bit.
Yeah,
Who's-
make it easy.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Raphael
What's his
Pope's.
fuck's name? Yeah,
Yeah.
Lionel's.
Oh,
I'm-
Lionel's, gotcha.
Wow, Nika. Wow,
Yeah.
what the fuck's his name?
Yeah.
Nika, more respect.
Lionel.
More respect.
So, yep, you reach up
Jimmy's
with
gonna
your
lift up Pope's corpse under the armpits and
Yep.
like lean the guy's head back.
Gotcha.
Kind of like try to
Team
get his
effort.
throat opened up.
team
Right.
effort. Yeah, you do that, and then you see Caligari with their bony fingers just kind of claw in and rip open the throat of Lionel right in front of Emmy. Varys doesn't. I mean,
They
Callie
didn't
doesn't
have
care.
to look.
Yeah, and I'm assuming you just kind of lean it forward, and the blood and liquids that are pouring through the vitae pouring out of his throat drips a bit onto the body, and then as you kind of lean it up, it starts falling down the throat of Raphael Pope as Jimmy is holding up this kind of dried corpse of a vampire. As the liquid slowly falls in, you can even feel it, Jimmy. This body starts very, very slowly being able to move. It seems to shiver or quiver here and there. Maybe a finger twitches or a leg twitches, and the skin starts gaining just over time its color back, and the veins start getting thicker and more and filled with blood, until eventually the twitching is slow movement, and the movement slowly reaches up and grabs this body that Caligari is having and kind of hooks his fingers into it and just begins to by itself start drinking it. And without over time, without you needing your support, Jimmy or Caligari, you two could step away as you watch this corpse come back to life. This reversing of what natural decay is, watching it happen in the other direction is something you've never seen before, and is mystifying and gross and weird, and it reminds you all again just how, God, you're not human. You're just not human anymore. This is the shit you deal with every day or every few weeks, not your normal jobs anymore. Watching this corpse come to life is just a stark reminder. And eventually this body looks like a 30-something-year-old man with a goatee and a full head of hair that is messy and messed up. And his eyes are still closed as he drains what's left of this corpse, committing the act of diablerie, which most of you know what that is. And when it's drained dry and absolutely dead, he lifts his fangs out of the throat. He takes a deep, deep breath, and he kind of like lets the corpse just fall to the side of the tomb as he's sitting up in his own grave. And he looks around with the four of you, and he looks confused and unsure. At the same time, he almost looks elated and unhappy, and these mix of emotions are clearly passing over his face at such a rapid pace. He takes another deep breath, and as he does, you see
before he says anything.
Yeah, so
Cal goes, "You better be fucking worth it." And then she licks her fingers. So she's gonna have a little bit of that there good blood.
Yeah. And when you finish that, you see Lionel's corpse like actually just turn to dust as you lick your fingers and the body hits the ground, cementing the fact that Lionel's gone. And Jimmy, were you gonna do something as well?
Yeah, so Jimmy's like been holding this guy this whole time, right, as he's coming back to life.
Yeah, sure.
So as Cal says, "You better be worth it, asshole," Jimmy's gonna like lift him up, right?
Okay, yeah.
And stand him on his feet, and he's just gonna lean forward and like almost sensually say into this guy's ear, "And if you're not, I'm gonna fucking dust you myself."
I like
and
it.
And I'm gonna push him away. Like,
okay. And he actually will like you push him away, and
Where's the dust that like
on the
of
side,
Lionel?
right next to this, like right next to the tomb.
Emmy's scooping up a little bit of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome to.
I offer her a finger that's still a little bloody. You want to try some? No, I'm not gonna have it.
No.
No, she's like, no. I'm like, okay.
So Jimmy, you shove him, and is still not fully aware of his surroundings. He stumbles and actually falls out of the tomb onto his side, and he kind of like scrambles and in a panic almost, kind of like pushes himself up against the corner of the mortuary. And he again looks at all four of you with wide darting eyes, and he tries to say something, but the words don't make sense. Caligari, you know that a vampire put into torpor for this long, whether willingly or not, when they come out of it, when they wake up, they're going to be incredibly confused. It's possible that their memories are just warped and not 100% correct, what they remember and what they don't. It may take a long time for that to come about. So while he's awake and he's conscious, you know just from your studies that he's probably not all there yet. And he looks concerned and nervous.
I use nightmare.
Oh, God.
Can I see that that's what she's doing?
Yeah. I make a scary face.
Do you? Well, I mean, like, is this obvious? Like, can I react to the fact that she's about to do that?
I don't know if there's no, like, incantation. You know what I mean? There's no prep.
Yeah.
It just, she kind of just does it. Yeah. So I'm gonna get a roll.
All right.
Because,
So
like,
it
Varys
was
wants to-
presence, intimidation, and nightmare.
Varys
before.
wants to like interact as well, but they're obviously like the ones that are very in the face. So I will gladly go behind them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So same as it was before.
Yep. Same exact roll. Okay.
Shit. Yeah. This guy's fucked now.
Yeah, that's 3 successes. He screams and terrified completely, looking to push himself further into the corner, but he can't. And the 4 of you are blocking the way to get out. So he's freaking out.
What the fuck, guys? What the
Cow.
fuck? Hold on. And I'm gonna go over to the guy that's like trying to push himself to the corner. I'm like, hey, Varys.
Still freaking out, but he looks at you, but words are not happening right now.
What was the guy's name again? Remind me. It's
Raphael
Pope.
Pope.
Raphael.
Raphael.
Like, are you Raphael?
He when you say that, his eyes stop darting and he looks at you and he like looks like he's thinking for a moment, but he like nervously shakes, like nods his head. Yes.
Listen, Raphael, you're fucking important for some reason. And we need to make sure that you're going to be safe. You better be fucking safe. We have to get you out of here. Can you walk?
He kind of looks around. He tries to push himself up. And he takes a couple steps. He doesn't fall over, but he definitely seems a little unsteady. But he is able to take steps and walk.
We might have some shit between us and my truck, right? So you're going to have to be able to follow us. Can you do that?
She like shakes his head. Yeah.
All right, because there's some people outside, and we're going to have to deal with that. So just try to keep up and don't get killed, all right?
Yep, no, he nods.
And I will very happily draw my sword
Okay.
and go and open the door.
All right. So you pull
Yeah,
your
and
sword.
Emmy's like-
Very happily.
Yeah.
I stand up and I'm still like this whole time, like even while Callie and them were like feeding, our sire to him, she was just like dead hand staring. Like she looks almost emotionless, which is like very unlike Emmy.
100%. So
Before we move out, I smash that window to pieces.
absolutely. I don't know. I like what you think. Both of them, I assume.
Yeah, any of the ones that show somewhat what happened, what we did. If I can wreck anything that shows about the Judas or anything like that,
Do
it's
you
going down.
also leave the glass on the floor? Or do you take the glass with you?
I
Put them in the box.
I take a couple pieces of the glass, just enough to like so that nobody can really put it back together very easily.
So what you would deem the important parts of the picture? You kind of
Yeah,
like
you know,
grab those?
I just pick up like a big fuck ton of it,
'Kay.
and then like
Throw it in the box
hang
and
on to
take the
that,
box?
and then I strew some of them around like
Okay.
the graveyard, so
Sure.
that like nobody's gonna find some of that, and then the rest I'll just dump in like my haven somewhere.
Okay. So Varys, you take your sword out, getting ready to do whatever you got to do to what's beyond this door. Emmy did say that you're being watched, and you open the door. Do you fling it open? Do you just kind of quietly open it?
Oh, I fling it open. I make sure they
Alright.
know that this is not meant to be a nice thing.
Okay. You fling the door open, and in front of you sits nothing.
Nothing? Okay, but I'm also aware of the fact that Nosferatu have the ability to obfuscate. So I'm going to take a couple steps down and be like, where the fuck are you guys?
Silence.
Where the fuck are you? Huh? You peeping in on our shit? Where the fuck are you?
I put my hand on his shoulder.
Okay. Do you say anything?
No.
Okay.
I just come on, guy.
Dead silence.
It's time. If they're here, fuck it. They can't hurt us and whatever. And give him a little piece of glass.
He takes it and kind of examines it. But Scott, dead silence. No response. You don't hear rustling. Emmy, you don't hear or see anything either.
Okay.
As far as you can tell, they're gone.
So I'm
And
going
me,
to pull my
like-
gun out. Okay.
Glares at Raphael and then follows to
Okay.
walk.
And Caligari has her arm on his shoulder, kind of guiding Raphael, and so he doesn't fall and he doesn't get lost. Not that he would. And Jimmy,
I was saying my hand is on Varys' shoulder.
oh, you're on
kind of,
Varys'
like,
shoulder. Gotcha.
stopping him and going like, just dude. It's time to go.
Calm the fuck down. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy's propping up Pope then.
Screaming is not the best thing for us right now.
Jimmy,
drawing more
he
attention
gladly
to us.
accepts the help. And you walk and you head over to Jimmy's car, right? Jimmy's the one that I think it was Jimmy's car, not the
It
truck.
was.
Okay,
It was.
It was Jimmy's car, but Varys was
in the
driving.
moment.
Yeah,
Varys
Varys
was in the
drove,
moment.
but
Yeah.
either way. So you make
So
your way
I
over to the
pulled
car.
up my gun. I pulled up my gun as well because they're not obviously in sight, so I can range and melee.
Sure, not a
Yeah.
problem. So you all head over to the car. I'm assuming you take the empty box with you. You don't want to leave it in case evidence or whatever.
It's up to them.
Yeah, and you throw it into the trunk. You shut the car. Everybody hops into the car. It goes in the back seat, and you drive out safely without any instances. No Nosferatu cut you off. They don't try to fight you. Nothing. And with Raphael Pope in the back seat, the car goes down the dirt road. The camera pans out, and we fade to black for the week. Sound good?
Fuck.
Oh,
Does not sound good. I got fucking questions.
Yeah.
I got questions.
I think Emmy's gonna like do
2 more
something.
hours. 2 more hours. Let's keep going.
We'll be back next week for 4 more hours.
Fuck
instead.
it. Fuck it. Double it. Let's go 8 hours. 8-hour stream. I get questions. It's going to take at least 3 of those. Fuck it. Let's go.
On the way out, I apologize. I did forget this one little thing. You guys jump into the car. You shut the door. Jimmy, your phone vibrates. I totally forgot to do this. You sent him the question, like, why was he torn up
right.
and whatnot. There's just a single question mark.
It's perfect.
End. Black. Scene. See you next week.
The post credit scene on
next
this
Thursday.
episode is definitely Jimmy giving Pope a pair of pants out of the back of his car.
Absolutely. He can't be seen as 1800s garb. Everybody
I
have
love
fun this
the fact
week.
that I told him my back of my truck, and the guy just nodded. Like, I know what that is.
So, everybody have fun?
No. Fuck you. Kill my
I don't know
dad.
how I feel about this right now.
Yeah. What the
Are you,
fuck?
are you at least
That's pretty
feeling
great.
feeling some
Is
emotions?
somebody feeling bitter?
I feel like Emmy's not feeling any emotions. I feel like I'm gonna like go to like having no humanity and doing something crazy.
I was so excited to find out what you guys were gonna do once you opened the box and you saw what was in it, because I had a feeling it was gonna be like 4 different opinions or 3 different opinions kind of battering with one another. I didn't know if somebody was gonna latch on and just try to diablerie, or if you were just gonna say.
I rolled to see if I would do it.
I didn't know. Well, I also didn't know if you guys
if
were
I
gonna,
rolled if I rolled even one success, I was like, I'm gonna do it.
didn't know if you were gonna have the other way around, where you were gonna feed the other guy to your sire instead. Like, there were a lot of options, or even to take them both back and be like, I'm not doing this, like you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been the smart move, but but nothing was happening. There was nobody taking that head on it.
The
I
problem
also-
was like I was trying to, and I think, and so was Varys, but like the problem was all our rolls were such shit that we kept just getting into like this standoff that was so terrible.
Yeah.
And it kept being a standoff instead of like there being an actual
One
action
dominating,
to
yeah.
do. There wasn't one person who said like, we're taking them now.
No. So
And that's exactly what Cal does.
Varys' opinion the entire time was he understood the consequences of the actions. He understood that this was probably meant to some degree because of what Jimmy said. He was kind of convinced that way. And so his big thing was, I don't know this shit. I don't get it. And I respect you guys for one reason, like for different reasons. I respect you guys.
Mhm.
I don't understand this stuff. I'm so fucking lost at sea. Callie, this is your shit. You know this way better than me. So he kept deferring to Callie like you know your shit. And Callie's like responsive.
I want to know something just from like out of character stuff, like a cult. This is like a cult stuff, right?
It's a mix of occult and politics.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I also have a lot of occult and politics.
Yeah.
Like together, I
Mhm.
have 4. So I think like, and how much do you have?
5.
5. So like, I think like we are actually pretty close in knowledge with
Yeah.
stuff.
You're probably pretty close
Yeah.
in knowledge, yeah, for
So
sure.
I think
And I
like
think
that's the thing too, is that I
Yeah.
know the same thing that she knows to almost, you know.
She's
I think
like
that you have a
encyclopedic
natural
knowledge.
empathy for it. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have the written knowledge. I've seen it in practice. I think that you are like in your way, your skills reflect upon your kind of just natural affinity. Like you just have a talent for it. I have like, you know, the opposite end. I'm the wizard to your
Experience, yeah.
sorcerer kind of shit.
Yeah.
I'm mostly surprised. What threw me, not, I don't want to say threw me for a loop, but something I didn't expect you all to catch, but I'm glad Nika did, was that she did put together like the stained glass and the connection. I thought that was going to be left unknown.
I put it together as soon as you said like the
neck
like
thing.
you were saying Lionel had the thing on the neck. I put it together, but like my character wouldn't have known that,
Right,
and I didn't
yeah,
want to.
Mhm.
So I
And
was like, I'm just gonna stay out of it.
I'm glad, and I'm not glad, but I'm surprised and impressed that Callie was like, you know what, smash the glass, don't leave any.
Yeah,
evidence or
I
anything.
don't leave it, especially not for those other fucking peeking like Nosferatu kids, dude. They're gonna have to work for their fucking supper with me.
They didn't see
You know?
anything that we did. They just saw us like arguing.
They
kind
saw
of.
us arguing.
Going back and forth between a box and.
Yeah, they're gonna see some dust, so they know that a vampire died in there.
No, I took the dust.
Yep.
You took all of it? I thought you said took some.
Well, whatever I could take. I don't know what I could take.
Yeah,
But
But
I was just
it's sketchy work that we just did, and I don't. Yeah.
sorry, I was just to finish what I was saying. Callie like popping the head of the mouse and everything. I didn't see that as like as so much. It was partially I don't give a shit. I do what I got to do. But that's also like it's one of those things where when you're trying to convince yourself of what you need to do,
Yeah.
it's like this was a minor action to tell you I'm willing to go that way, and that was Varys being like, this isn't easy for her either.
Yeah,
Like,
and
this
that
is
was
not-
exactly it. It wasn't.
So
She was
he
like,
understood the empathy.
yeah, she this was her little friend, and there will be more. And that kind of is what, like, when she saw your sire in the box, she had to immediately recognize that her sire could be too.
Mhm.
And she was like, oh, I actually like this one now. Like, I dig this guy. So there's that kind of that element of shit, I am so alone. And if she is so alone, she's going to have to be ready, like mentally readying herself to do what she has to do, especially when she's put here for that purpose. And you know, she knows. Someone said that Cal is lawful neutral or lawful evil, and I was just like, what? And then I went, you're right. There's something about like there is a certain lawfulness about her, that this is the way that it's going to be.
I don't know about evil.
I think she's
I see
kind of
it as, like,
evil.
lawful-
I
She's
think
fucking
chaotic.
brutal.
I think chaotic,
Brutal,
but you're
sure, but
teetering towards
don't-
evil.
She's
your
pretty
humanity?
evil. Like
What's your
she's
humanity?
not. Yeah. But there's a certain level to that entire experience, which is like it was psyching myself up for that moment, you know, like it was I think we have to do this, and I will let you talk me out of it, but this is what we're here to do. This is why we are here. We don't know anything. And would you do this? And yes, I would have done it for Zigzag. Like, I definitely would have done the same thing with him. In fact, easier than I would Tiddlywink, to be honest. But it was really upsetting. Like, in that moment, she kind of finally faced what her life is and has become.
I feel like that might be true to varying degrees for all four of you tonight. I think that was really fun for me as a storyteller to kind of like experience, was watch the four of you realize, all right, this is not like, life is no longer normal. And my goal was to, at the very least, really rip that away from Varys a little bit, just because he's so struggling to hold on to it. Oh, it's fun.
Like,
Well,
she,
this is the safety net. This is the one that stopped people from realizing that I still look at my old life. And he's the one that literally kept eyes off of me so that my character flaw was not even a factor.
Mhm.
Without him there, now it's something that can actually be seen by the world. And so the flaw actually more or less initiates now.
what was the flaw?
I totally spy on my wife. I like hack into the
What?
Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I like totally hack into the Wi-Fi cams and whatnot in my house because I know how to do that shit from when I worked for a government organization, and I totally spy on my wife and kid.
All right, that was a woo. That was okay.
Yeah, because it was one of those things where I died at my literally celebrating. I was very drunk celebrating the baby shower of my child, and so like now my wife gave birth and has a kid, and she thinks her husband's dead, and technically
Honestly,
she's not wrong.
Like,
So
just like, I think just watch my favorite part is tonight was watching the four of your characters be different in a lot of ways. Like Caligari, as quirky and as weird as she is, to see her get super serious and have to kind of like make these hard decisions is something we haven't seen of Caligari yet. And to see the kind of person or vampire she has to be. Where Varys, to see him kind of crack and be more emotional and not really know what to do, and Emmy to lose all emotion and just be this stone-faced person, and Jimmy to be put in a point where, like, lackadaisical as he is, he's the fucking tiebreaker. He needs to pull the trigger here, and it's very much on him as it is on everybody else, which Jimmy likes to shirk responsibility, and you can't shirk this. Oh, it's so good. Thank you, guys. You made this a really fun night for me as a storyteller. I hope the chat enjoyed it as well. I hope the players enjoyed it so much. We'll be back next week, all things working, to see what the outcome of this decision is. If you guys want to support the show, September, 2 more days left, half-price subs. Drop it. Get the emotes, get the support. We love you for it. We're going to go around the room. People can tell us what we're doing this week, and we'll wrap the sucker up, starting with Scott. What do you got going on this week?
Let's see. Every Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I play a Mass Effect tabletop RPG. We're almost done with the first story, and we're going to be starting the next one in just a few weeks. It's loads of fun. I put the rules together for it myself. On Friday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I play, or technically 9:30, a 5e game in Eberron, which happens to be my favorite pre-made world for Dungeons & Dragons. So that's a cool one. We're in chapter 2 of that one right now, and the story's progressing in a very interesting way. Other than that, Lost Initiative stuff, and hang over with my buddy Ollie's channel, and, things like that. Woohoo! Yeah, find me on Twitter and things.
Yeah, and for those asking, I'm going to dictate who needs to roll humanity at the beginning of next episode for whatever decisions were made. Just so people in chat know. Nika, what do you got going on this week? Are you doing any streams? What's up?
Not that I know of. Indiecade is coming up. I don't know when. It might actually be next week instead. But I certainly intend to be there. I'm going to be showing off a game that I'm working on, which I'm very excited about as well. Nice. So if you guys want to come over and play a card game at Indiecade, that would be great. I need to remind myself of that now. Mostly it's just getting my shit together. It's the end of the month and it's coming into like Goth Appreciation Month. I should really be kicking it into high gear, and instead I am not. So hopefully next week I'll have something more exciting to discuss or share. But
Sweet.
I'm so excited for Halloween.
I am
like
too.
October's my favorite month. Like
Mine too.
I go broke because that's when I buy everything. Where I'm like, oh, I need new towels. Okay, it's Halloween. I can finally buy new towels, like with skulls and shit on. So just everything in my house is pretty Halloween themed, and that's the way that I do. So I'm gonna have to. A lot of my time is gonna be spent budgeting. Just like
the fun parts of being an adult.
Yeah, fun.
Sweet. Maggie, you're in Korea, but what else you got going on this week?
Hey, yeah, I come back from Korea, which is going to be exciting. And then I'm over on Roll For It on Sunday, where I play some more tabletop action. And then I'll be here on Lost Initiative on Tuesday and next Thursday as well. So hopefully you guys can tune into that. And then my Wednesday streams will be returning because I will be in a place where I can actually stream. So if you guys want to come watch all the things, and you can find me at everywhere at Margaret Crone, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, etc.
Awesome. John, what are you doing, man?
What's up? I'm not actually doing that much this coming week, actually. I know it's incredibly funny, but I'm not. I'll be back here next week for streaming, but I am always on the Twitter. I also have a review of the most recent D&D book coming out soon. So if you follow me on Twitter, you will see that, or you can see it at critical-hits.org.
What's
I'm almost through it. It's interesting. Tomb of Annihilation, which just came out.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought you meant the one that's coming out where they're finally retconning all of the Unearthed Arcana stuff. But you mean Tomb of Annihilation?
Yeah, Tomb of Annihilation. So
Gotcha.
if you're curious or on the fence about that.
Did they do a good job? Because, I mean, I've played it, second edition, a bunch of times.
It's really interesting.
I like second edition a lot.
It's a curious twist on the idea of doing a killer dungeon. I'll put it that way.
I was going to say, because, like, if fifth edition doesn't say, you fucking die. No, wait, you fucking die. No, wait, you fucking die. That was like you sneezed and you died.
It was much more normal, yeah. It's definitely still there, right?
Okay,
I
cool.
can see people playing this campaign and being like, "Oh, cool! We played for like 10 levels and then we instantly all died." It's a curiosity. I'll put it that way.
Cool. Awesome.
Interesting.
Sweet. Well, if you guys enjoyed the show and want to talk about it, you can tweet the show directly at Lost in It Show. We have a subreddit where we talk about every week's episode over at Lost Initiative. There's links below. You can go check that out. All the VODs will be over at youtube.com/MathasGames in a couple days. If you're a sub and you missed it, you can watch it immediately after the stream ends. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was really fun. I'm so glad we finally got to get this episode out of the way. And we'll see you next week, all things willing. Goodbye.
Bye.